This is page 4, and as you can see, it's done. It's already been posted to my Instagram. So 9-volt Weird Arcana is off to a pretty good start. 4 pages in, here's page 5. I've already drawn page 5, and this morning I also drew page 6. So there we go. So I don't foresee myself getting very far on this page today, but let's see how far we will get. At least we'll get through the panel borders, right? That's my hope. So in this sequence, this is why it's a little bit difficult for me, at least at this stage, is we've completely changed frame of reference. We've moved to a different scene, elsewhere. And actually now we're concentrating on our main characters, Prometheus powers. Abrax, a summoner. We've got a little bit of Vuku, who'll be on these first 2 pages. After this sequence, they're going to be off flying through the universe, well, returning to Arcadia, where there will be an adventure. Things are going to happen, and then we'll tie it back in with our prologue bit with Stardust. So Stardust versus Prometheus powers, the showdown. So that was pretty quick, getting those borders out there. I'm getting pretty excited about Procreate Dreams, announced for November. There's somebody put out a whole animation with it already, like a whole little short. I think it's like a 5-minute short or something like that, with this bird. But it looks really good. So what it seems to be able to do is the 3D cameras thing that I think Blender does, but it does it via iPad and using the Procreate interface. And it also incorporates sound as well, so you can do the sound at the same time. So, from my understanding of how to do animation, is you kind of have to have the sound incorporated as you're doing the work. So you know where how to sync things and do all that. So my goal for next year, still be working on comic pages. I want to do just an opening sequence for a cartoon, like the Herculoids, or Samurai Jack. I want to do I'm not going to do the Herculoids or Samurai Jack, but I'm going to do an opening sequence for a cartoon. I just don't know what cartoon it'll be yet. Probably one of my characters. Maybe I'll do Prometheus powers. That looks like the whole thing. Hang on, let's just check. Let's make sure. Oh dear. Okay, so we have a lot of times when I'm drawing, I'm doing some cutting and pasting. So I'm going to take these 2 images. There we go. And then when I take them out, that's the whole pencil layer. So let's put them back in. This is definitely going to require some reference. You see this, actually pulled this from the other comic. I just copied and pasted it. This is how I originally drew the Stella, and I think I'm going to keep it, the look of it, like I tried to redraw it over here. But, I don't know. I guess we'll see. So where do I start? Well, one way to start. First of all, let's put an ink layer up. Trouble in Paradise. Here we go. There we go. Rusty Nib one. I have this, there's some archways in the back. There's a narration box up here, but I have these curtains. Some kind of drapery. Like that. And, there's obviously some things we can do with that. Let's take off this right here. Does it read? In this case, it does read. Okay. That's the old standard. What do you think? Feels pretty good. Okay. Next up, the throne. We're going pretty simplistic here with the Ifrit's throne. It's not a real ornate. This isn't like the Game of Thrones throne with all the swords on it. It's a very simple stone chair of some sort. And we got the beginnings of it. I probably will have to do some kind of like carved stone, look to it or something, or maybe some kind of, I don't know, some kind of decoration. But let's see if we can get this figure in. And while I'm doing that, first of all, whoops. In the process of getting this figure in, let's actually get a reference to look at so we have an idea. This fella right here. Fred, what happened? No, don't do that. I almost wanted to delete my shit. All right. It's this fella here. That's page 1. It's page 2. It's a bit of page 3. I got to remember that he's got well, I think this is probably the best reference here. So let's do this. We're going to take this and share this as a JPEG and save the image. That means we'll put it in our photographs. And then we go back to our original. The original, which is right here. Bring this up, but we're going to bring up canvas, reference, image, import, and then there it is. It's sitting right there in our photos. And I mean, character's designed in such a way that, you know, even if I got it mostly wrong, I should be okay. He's pretty distinct. All right. I think I see one problem is I put his horns too far forward. We also got to figure out what to do with his hand in front of his face here. All right. Let's figure out these horns. There's one here. It's like a crown of horns. Horns in the front and horns in the back. Also, when I originally drew this, I gave him kind of a texture on his skin. I don't know if I'm going to go with that. I think we might just do some stippling, but it had like a stone texture on his skin, which I think there might be a better way to do that now. Okay, can't forget his armbands, wristbands. He's not like the royal wristbands. So if he's like this is his hand. His thumb is up here. And then let's take a look without the pencils. You know, at some point your pencils get in the way of you figuring out what you're trying to do with the final image, you know. Especially if you're like me and you kind of shotgun a bunch of pencils out there and you're hoping that some of those lines are the right ones that people will notice. Some of them are, you know, guidelines and some of them are other lines. But let's take a look. Oh, he's looking right. He's looking good. I'm putting him in this toga thing, and the toga is going to go over the left shoulder, right side, left shoulder. And when we begin, he's skeptical. He's in a situation of he thinks that they failed already. They have not. All right, let's do this archway. It's in the background. It'll be hidden behind this narration box. By the way, this narration box is it's serving two purposes. It's not just a narration box. It's also telling us we're in a new scene, right? And same thing with this chapter 2 thing over there on the right side. So I'm not gonna see how I'm lining it up right on the panel border. I'm actually gonna do a breakout box here, so it's gonna be above the border. Those are one of the few situations where I think a breakout box is totally cool to do, because it's like it's saying this is outside of the panel. This is a narration before the panel begins, and then the panel. If this were a movie, we might hear the voiceover begin over a black screen and then fade into the scene. All right. Let's see what we got so far. Pretty good. Pretty okay. Moderately neato. Okay, so this right here, that's not his thigh, that's the pipe folds of the toga. That's his thigh right here. I think we could probably... And then this is his hand. And we want to do this thing with his hand where his hand is overlaying everything. Here we go. This is a good beginning. All right, we can... block in a little bit more. Oh, we need to do the other armband. Okay, and then we just have his feet. I'm going to make sure that we imply some kind of shadow or shading on this area under the throne. And then back here, these are archways. Whoops. Which Procreate prefers to interpret as ellipses. Alright, we have a good beginning here. I'm going to have to cut this video off early just so I can think about what I need to do next. I've got to do these two small figures that are in this kind of blank area right here. I've got to figure out how we're going to decorate the throne. Right? Something like that, maybe? Oh, it's tough, man. All right, here we go. Maybe some kind of like hieroglyphics or sort of very ancient looking inscriptions like Babylonian or Akkadian or something. Used to quite like the Babylonian Sumerian mythos in Deities and Demigods and Dungeons and Dragons. That was one of my favorites. Marduk was one of the main characters. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to look at some statuary. Look at an actual throne or a statue to figure out what goes where. If you remember the old Dungeon Master's Guide, the one with the Ifrit on the cover, like it's my idea wasn't to have that same guy, but that's the idea. I like that Ifrit. I like the idea. It's a big red fellow. Although I envision this guy as being kind of a blue or a pink in color. I was trying to explain this to Shel Presto one time, and she's like, she's she says she says he's blue and pink. No, he's blue or pink. I couldn't figure out which would be better. It says he was originally on the cover of 9-Volt Monsters. This fold is unclear. Every time I do one of these videos and I watch it later, I see all the mistakes I'm making as I'm making them and that I just didn't notice. So I'm trying to be a little bit more self-conscious about where are the mistakes. Now, here's an obvious one. He's too long. Like, this leg should not be that long. I think I've made a mistake already. I think this looks good where it is. Perhaps it should be like more like that, though. And then this knee should still be up at front. I think that seems to work. Okay. It's not perfect, but I mean, this is the thing. You can only be as good as the artist that you are. So if your art does not look perfect, you kind of have to accept that that's what you're capable of, and then just try and improve for the next one. So I think when you try and draw above your level, you're likely to become really frustrated and burn yourself out. And I don't think you improve. But if you kind of accept, okay, this is where I am right now, and this is what I need to practice, you make improvement not just possible, you make it inevitable. Like, you avoid all the psychological burnout issues. Right. This is stuff in the background. Let's just take a look at what. This is what I had as my horizon line is down here. I'm just going to fake it in real light. We'll have to figure out if we want to do light sources in the room, all that other stuff, and then I can, get in harder with my hatching. All right. I think that's it. That's it for right now. That's time. All right. Please like, follow, and subscribe, and we will be doing more all this week, every day. Comics every day.